Districts and Tatiara. It's Tatiara in a little bit of trouble here. It's at their half-back line. They're kicking with... Actually, I'm a little bit disorientated now, we're right. Yeah, we've got Geelong and Districts at half-time break, done the trouble. Geelong and Districts kicking with the breeze. I was trying to work out which way the wind was blowing. Now we're right. Geelong and Districts kicking with the breeze, and they're 1 goal behind. So an even first half, Ron, but this is the quarter where Geelong and Districts would want to build up some sort of an ascendancy.
Well, I've sort of developed the third and vital quarter, as I call it. This is the match-winning quarter for mine, Johnny.
Well, the third quarter is the premiership quarter in any game of footy, so it's Geelong and Districts this time with the free kick. Player pushed in the back on the forward line. In fact, it's deep into the forward line, right on the boundary line, and we've got Jamie Hutchison getting to his feet. And once again, he's kicking from a similar spot to where some of his teammates have. In fact, it's a little bit further around, but kicking with that breeze coming straight over his shoulders. But he goes straight across the ground there and finds Rory Priddle. Rory kicks high towards the goal line, and it's way offline, high, wide and handsome, and out of bounds on the full.
Yes, just a tad negative on that occasion. Could have done a little better, I think, with that forward thrust, GDFL, and no score has been forthcoming. Early stages of the third quarter. 6 points the margin. The Cowrie, Narracourt, Tatiara boys in front. Ball now brought back in. All Roberts couldn't hold the leather. Comes to ground. Kane Howard it was, the red. Lost the footy though. Good work, Priddle. Good vision. Hand pass a bit too well weighted for Hayes. David Hayes, the deputy vice captain for the Geelong District side. Cool on the crisis. Left foot up to the goal square. The high flyers. No one can get a handle on it. And again, the defence stands firm for the KNT boys.
Brett Pilgrim it was with a good pick up, but then couldn't get boot to ball, but it comes out towards Chipper Dickinson. Dickinson kicks down towards a vacant half-forward area. Player with the run on the ball is big Sam Densley. Sam lopes along, scoops the ball in front of him. Oh, picks it up well, does Sam Densley for a big guy. Then kicks with his left foot around his body towards Stewie Barbary. Stewie in front of the scoreboard gets the ball back to where it's Stimson. Stimson wastes the kick though, and it's marked by
Danny McCall, I think you'll find.
It was. He's played a good game there in the back line, but the ball's kicked, marked back there by I think it was just picking up Bradley Gould. He gets the ball back towards Stimson. Stimson can't take it. Craig Watson bundles his opponent out of the row. Has another go. This time the player bounces off. Good strong play there by Geelong and Districts.
Yeah, Elzinga it was to Priddle. 2 prime movers for the Geelong District side here this afternoon. Long bomb to half forward. Pack of players have formed. It's off hands, and I think there's been an infringement. And the KNT boys get possession.
Bradley Gould.
Yep, Gould it is.
Bradley Gould's kick comes down to where it's to the back of the pack. Craig Watson scoops the ball up and handballs the ball in front of him. Now he's back over it. He's taken out of the play there. He's worked pretty hard but didn't achieve any real constructive results. But the ball's right in front of our commentary spot here. If this wind gets any stronger, we'll be on top of these players at the moment. We're rocking and rolling, but comes back towards Craig Watson. He loses the ball, bundled out of it. Scoops the ball in front of him towards Roberts. Michael Roberts can't get it. Well, this will be an interesting decision. That was the right decision. What players? He's battled hard there in Elzinga, but this time it comes towards David Hayes. Hayes kicks the ball high. Nobody can take the mark. Players under it for the Geelong and Districts there in Walsh. Walsh gets the ball forward, socket off the ground towards Robertson. Robertson kicks the ball in long, and I think the ball has cleared the back of the pack for a goal, and that's a pretty handy goal to Geelong and Districts.
And that'll make the coach pretty happy. The Mottawari Marvel has popped through another one for the Geelong District side. Early stages of the third and vital quarter, and a very handy goal for the Geelong District boys.
Certainly was. KNT had the ascendancy, and all of a sudden, quick as a flash, it changed, went down the other end, and we see the windsock gusting that way, so it's most probably a 4 or 5 goal breeze at times. Then other times there's no real advantage, but a good goal there to Geelong and Districts, and the scores are locked together.
Bert Cameron Chartered Accountants, third quarter scoreboard, bringing you the action here at Narracourt, South Australia, for the Under-17 Clash of the Year.
Yes, it's great for these young fellas to play a game like this. You said the clash of the year. Well, some of these guys, it would be the game of the year for them. Often they play in teams that only win 1 or 2 matches for the year. So to get out and play with some teammates with a bit more ability is a big occasion for them. As we see the handball from Dickinson back towards Van Kempen. Van Kempen can't do anything, and it comes back towards Geelong and Districts, who clear to where it's the ball's dropped there by Robertson. He's under a bit of pressure there by Robbie Will, and he scoops the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Boundary throw-in there on the attacking side of centre wing for Geelong and Districts. Boundary throw in, Ruckman set themselves, Roberts in front, gets the tap down, it comes down to where it's big pack of players scrimmage around. This time it's socket along the ground by Pope, I think it was. But just looking there...
Pope and Rainey did very well there.
They did, actually. Just looking for the KNT, we see Kane Howard going off with a leg injury, and that's a bit of a blow for them because he's a good player. In fact, we haven't seen him at his best today. He most probably shouldn't have played, but being the type of lad he is, nothing would keep him out of the starting 18. But now he's been taken off, and we see a free kick there going in the direction of Barry O'Toole.
Yep, Bazzer it is. Right foot, drop, punt, pass. Just dropped a little short. Oh, good commitment for the leather. Now he's pressured. Good work there from the defence of the KNT boys. But I'm referring to Justin Allison, who went really ferociously at the footy. Good work, young fella.
Talk of being ferocious. Also, Brett Pilgrim there. He did pretty well with his attack on the ball. As it comes down towards the full forward area, we've got Rory
Put down
Puddle.
your glasses!
Let's put it through.
Yeah, he loves them. And as I mentioned, one of few players here today that is playing senior football back at home for North Geelong, and he kicks an average of 4 or 5 a week, the youngster.
Very impressive. He's played a good game all around the ground, and that was a pretty smart bit of play there in front of goal. So we've got Geelong and Districts hitting the front now by the solitary goal. It's 5-4 to 4-4 for the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies time clock. We've been going 2 minutes. Bannockburn, where's that, Ron?
Bannockburn, just this side, or the Ballarat side of Geelong. Yes, it's about probably 25-30 k's on the Ballarat off the Ballarat Highway.
Okay, ball back in the centre now. We've been going round about, towards the 3-minute mark of this third quarter. From the bounce down, it's favours KNT, and it's tapped down towards their half-forward line. Geelong and Districts with the players over the ball. Numbers there, numbers by everybody. Stimson come out with it, but 6 it was, Flint it was, but couldn't do anything constructive, and a pack of players have developed, and the umpire will bounce the ball down just the attacking side of centre for KNT.
Good bounce to it was, and this time Grigg got the ball to the ground, but again, some nice work there. I think it was Gould, goes out to Stimson, and he's been busy across half forward for the KNT boys.
From the kick, it's held up in the breeze, comes down to where it's Craig Watson takes his opponent on there in Elsinger. They've had a few good tussles, those two players, and it comes back down on the ground again. Geelong and Districts soccer the ball along the ground to where it's well intercepted there by, it is the number 3 there in Pope. Pope is taken on there by an opponent in Priddle, comes out with Stewie Barbary, scrubs the ball along. It's close to the boundary line, and it's tapped out of bounds by Geelong and Districts. We'll see a throw in right on the 50-metre line for KNT. It's on their attacking side of the ground, but it's going to be pretty hard to score with that breeze the way it is. Players over the ball, 18 it is, scoops the ball out, almost a throw by Mark Walsh, comes to where it was 6 in Flint. Flint's kick goes towards half forward, still plenty of players going in hard, back towards the centre of the ground. There's a one-on-one battle here. Stimson does it well. Stimmy scooped it back in front of him and gets the ball back where he's got a player there, and Dickinson takes the mark on the 50-metre line. Dicko goes towards the full forward area. Stewie Barbary edges his opponent out, but can't take the mark. The ball comes to ground, scooped out by Geelong and Districts towards a vacant half-back line for them. And we've got a player there in Dickinson. I don't think that was Dickinson. It was Dickinson.
Yep.
We've got 2 Dickinsons actually out there. It's Bradley and Chipper. His kick wasn't to advantage though, and it's marked there and cleared by Geelong and Districts.
Yes, out to the outer side defensive part of the ground. As you see, at ground level, good work there, Craig Cooper. Screws the ball to centre half forward. In front, taking a very courageous mark, Craig Watson, the skipper. Drops it short, but in front, just chipping in. Didn't make good contact with the footy on that occasion. And I think you'll find it's young Hutchison for the Geelong and District sides. Good shepherding there from Hayes. Allows now a long bomb, Hutchison to centre half forward. The speedster's required. Open space. Here's an opportunity for the Geelong and District side. Bradley. Aaron Bradley goes bang from 35 and pops it through.
Yes, I think Geelong and Districts have upped the tempo a little bit, Ron. They're looking a little bit harder at the ball in this quarter, and I suppose kicking with the breeze has given them that bit of a lift, but yes, they seem to have got the ascendancy in the last 5 minutes.
Yep, certainly, and that's shown on the scoreboard. The Bird Cameron Chartered Accountants third quarter scoreboard moves Geelong and District to 6-4-40. They lead the Cowrie Naracoorte Tatiara Footy League, who are 4-4-28. 5.5 minutes gone of the third and final quarter. Brought to us by Bannockburn Sporting Trophies.
But scoring is pretty hard down that southern end, though. It's very, very difficult, to put it mildly. And Karen Aracourt, Taddy Arab had it down there a couple of occasions, but never really threatened the scoreboard in any way.
That's certainly only been 2 goals scored to the north end out of the 10 goals, so that tells the story, Johnny.
Certainly does. Roberts gets a tap there, but it goes the direction of Geelong and Districts. The ball goes towards the outer side, scrimmaged around over there, player over the ball, play on's the call, and we've got Dickinson it is, I think, or was it Flint? Flint it was, bundled out of it by his opponent anyway, and it comes down to where Timko, he didn't attack the ball with any real conviction there. Brett Pilgrim did though. He gets the ball out in front of him, almost a free kick for holding the man, but play on's the call. Comes back to where it's scooped away by Geelong and Districts towards their 50-metre line. Another scoop out, and that's gained them quite a bit of ground, those 2 scoop outs, but it comes towards that good player there in Van Kempen. Van Kempen kicks the ball back towards the boundary throw-in, and I think we'll see a boundary throw, and yes we will, on the far side of the ground.
And good work, as you mentioned. I think the players have got to do that more often. Try and keep the ball moving at all costs is vital in these conditions.
Yes, from the boundary throw, and it's another pack of players. Once again, that punch out comes towards Brett Pilgrim. He has trouble picking it up. Slams the ball on his left boot, and it comes direction of Craig Watson. He's not equal to the task on this occasion. Gets it back and then scoops it to another pack of players. It's pretty untidy sort of play out there. Players all over the ball. Strong play by Geelong and Districts. They had a player there that wanted to get the ball out, and he did it well towards that player in Rory Priddle once again. Rory's kick is offline and through for a behind.
He didn't make clean contact there. We've got to give credit where it's due. It was the vice-captain, David Hayes, that split the pack with some great footy and nearly set up a fine passage for Geelong, but Rory Priddle offline.
From the kick-off, it's once again Geelong and Districts with the ascendancy. They keep the ball heading their direction. They're Rover over the ball. Can't take it. It comes back out to where Geelong and Districts have another pop shot for goal. This time it's looking a little better, but still offline.
Yep.
And that takes Geelong and Districts to 6 goals, 6 to KNT. 4 goals, 4 on the Bird Cameron Accountants scoreboard. So we're starting to get the knack of this, Ron.
Mate, it's good fun here at Narrow Court. The boys providing some fine football here this afternoon as we wait there on the full back. And I think you'll find it looks like Brett Pilgrim, is it, bringing the ball back into play. Goes out wide to the outer side, defensive side of the ground. And yes, Willie, yes he will. It's Robert Will takes the leather at half-back.
And Willie is pretty dependable too when it comes to taking a mark, wet or dry. His kick comes in there, and it's a good mark there by Flint. He's done a few good things in this quarter, and he kicks towards the outer side wing. Got a player there unattended, a small player there in Stewart. It may have been. His kick's a good one. It finds Sam Densley unattended on half forward.
Yeah, good passage of football here. Geelong and District haven't had a handle on the leather yet.
Kicking from almost an impossible part of the ground though, right into the teeth of the wind, comes to where a good handball out there, comes towards Craig Watson. His handball's a good one to Riney. Riney lines up the goals, and what's he done with it? He has put it through. Actually, that was a good handball by Craig to get it out to Riney, and an important goal. Those goals into the breeze are valuable.
Yeah, worth about 4, I reckon, Johnny, this afternoon, and a lovely build-up, and that was a well-deserved result for the KNT boys, who really manoeuvred that ball from back pocket very skillfully, key position, foot passing, pinpointing their teammates, and that's brought it back there within 8 points of the Geelong District side on the Bird Cameron Chartered Accountant third quarter scoreboard.
The important part of that passage of play was it all happened up the centre. On days like today, by hell, it's hard when you start getting around the boundary line. That all went up the centre, and then once again, as we mentioned, a goal. So yeah, that's the way to go, but it's easier said than done with a strong wind blowing. From the bounce down, it's Roberts can't get the tap, and it comes to where Geelong and Districts have got the ball there through Priddle once again. His handball goes towards a player there who gets his quick handball towards number 23 in David Hayes. He's done pretty well, the big fella.
Certainly
it comes
has.
with Brett Pilgrim, taps the ball in front of him, but it comes to Geelong and Districts' advantage. The kick comes out to where it's scooped up there and handballed in to where it's 10 there in Barry O'Toole. O'Toole's snap is offline. Looked like a goal from here.
Yes, it was a banana bender. He was a bit stiff. It's gone over the top of the post, and the goal umpire signifies a 1 point.
Interesting to see the time clock, Ron. It must be getting towards at least halfway through this quarter.
Yeah, good 10.5 minutes gone, I'd suggest, Johnny, on the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies time clock. And
You've been doing it long enough, Ron. You've got...
Mate, 4.5 Well, 10 years of this, mate, so you get used to it after a while.
Yeah, spot on there. 10 minutes gone out of a 20-minute quarter, I think it is. So halfway through, Geelong and District's 6 goals 7, KNT 5 goal 4. From the kick-off, we got a loose ball at the back of the pack. The racehorse Luke Cox has got the run of it, but he's got an opponent over there that can zoom along a bit there too in Mail. Mail's kick goes towards Hayes. Hayes, as I mentioned before, doing pretty well, but his kick is chopped off there. And a loose piece of play there by his corresponding number 23 and Bradley Gould. And we see the ball out of bounds for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, Gouldy's been okay this quarter too. He's done some nice things in defence for the KNT boys. Boundary throw-in. It's about 30 metres from the Geelong and District goal. Straight into the arms there of that player at the back of the pack. He just chips it over the top and finds Dixon.
His kick goes towards the centre of the ground. Sam Densley comes out, puts the big arms up. The ball doesn't stick, but it comes in favour of Geelong and Districts, who have got that tactic of just scooping it back, and it's impressing me. We've got a loose man out here on the centre wing there, and Ron, I couldn't pick the number up.
I think you'll find he's just come onto the ground. It's Christian Robertson.
It is, Chris Robertson comes towards Hutchison. Jamie Hutchison bundled out of the play with a push in the back, and players getting a little bit anxious there. Not a great deal in it, and I think we'll see the free kick taken very shortly. It is there. Yeah, Hutchison kicking from the boundary line. Pretty ambitious lining up from there, Ron, but he kicks in short now, and that was good play as he found that good player once again in Rory Priddle.
Yep, known as Awonga, and that was Unga to Wonga. So there you go. For the listeners at home, that's what they're known by.
And he kicks a boomer. And it was a boomer, all right, but didn't go to the centre of the ground. In fact, it went close to the boundary line, out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Yes, I think they've really got to utilise every opportunity here, the Geelong and District side. High leaper in front, couldn't get handle on leather was Aaron Bradley. Again, defence stands firm, KNT clear the footy. Priddle at ground level, hell without it, good footy. No free kickers, we see an opportunity there for them to go forward, as it does. But again, it's kept in play there, and he's butted up well, that youngster. I think you'll find it may have been, I think it was young Pope, was it?
Might have been. I'm just looking at a bit of a tussle behind play. Rory Priddle and Craig Watson just getting to know each other on close quarters, and the umpires, what's he decided to do? He's given Craig Watson a yellow card. I think he'd be pretty disappointed about that. It's, well, it's not in his character actually, but
I think they got a yellow card each.
They both got a yellow card?
Yes.
That's fair.
Oh, well, if that's the case,
takes 2 to tango,
certainly
Johnny.
Does, yeah. So both those players off, and
okay, well that'll just be probably to the end of this quarter, and that'll just give them a chance to have a spell and recapture their thoughts and dominate in the last quarter.
Yeah, just looking for the player that come off.
Yeah, Rory Priddle.
Was it? Oh, those two have been at it all day. So
yeah, I think I think your young bloke was just squaring the ledger a bit, wasn't it?
Oh well, as you said, bit of a break won't hurt.
No.
Boundary throw in now, and we see a free kick there going towards Van Kempen. Van Kempen is a good player kicking into the breeze. He's a strong kick. This time he kicks in towards Leon Timko. It's a good kick, and Leon marks at half back for the Carrignarroquois Tatiara. This time it's scrimmaged around right in the centre of the ground and defended by Geelong and Districts.
Yes, Troy Alzinger, the skipper of the side. Long bomb now to half foot. Loose ball. Oh, the Monowari magician comes in from 30 metres. And yes, the magician's popped through another one.
Good goal there. It was very handy at this stage of the game, and it was also a relatively easy goal, Ron.
Yes, certainly. All coming back from the centre of the ground. Good work again. Scotty Priest set up there. Alzinger, long bomb to half forward. Down there quickly. The runners, Robertson on that occasion, swooping on the leather and popping through a very nice goal. 14.5-minute mark of the third quarter. And that could be just about one of the goals of the day for mine.
Just getting back to that yellow card, that umpire John Cole, I think we might have to call him Dulux. I seen him pull out 2 coloured cards last week, so he likes the colours and the cards, but well, I suppose he's out there to do a job, and he likes to show his authority, but that's what umpires are all about. Boundary throw, bounce down once again in the centre of the ground. We've got Geelong and Districts 7 goals 7, KNFT 5 goals 4, so Geelong and Districts just snuck away a little bit in this third quarter. Bounce down in the centre of the ground. We've got the ruckman going to it, nothing much happening at this stage. It's scrimmaged around a, untidy sort of play. Kicking in danger. It may have been to Michael Roberts,
Good
but
call.
wasn't a lot in it. As Michael Roberts with that awkward kicking style, looks like if he took one more step, he'd fall over. And it comes out there to a good mark by Christian Stewart on the far side.
Stewart's now elected to go back into the middle. It actually went backwards, but just opened the angle to the goal mouth a little more to Van Kempen. Back he went and butted up nicely. Finds his teammate. I think it might have been Pope, I think. Left foot kick, a long bomb. But unfortunately for the KNT boys, Hutchison's in the way, and he plays on quickly to half-back. Elzinger, good football over the top to Robertson. The Magician goes to half-forward. Lovely footy, and O'Toole, Baza, a long bomb. The high flyers are required. Hits the turf. Now an opportunity. The big full forward in Allison kicks off the carpet. But unfortunately for Justin Ellison, he's just offline, and Aussie wouldn't be too happy with that because he's kicked two straight and has just blotted his copybook.
I could see danger signs there for the KNT side. That was going into their defensive zone rather rapidly, but they're let off by that inaccuracy. So we've got Brett Pilgrim now to kick up the centre of the ground, or decides to go slight to the outer side, but as I hesitated, he hesitated as well, and he ran over the mark, and there'll be a bounce down on the point of the square.
Yeah, costly mistake in this situation. Time clock ticking away in this third quarter. Geelong have snuck away to a 2-goal 4, which is about 16 points presently. And another 6-pointer here could be costly. Bounce down, a good one. Oh, he grabbed it out of the ruck there in Big Matty Stickter. But unfortunately, he got ball to boot, but a great smother off the boot there. And I think you'll find it may have been Gould who sacrificed his body and has forced another bounce down.
Bounce down deep into the attacking zone for Geelong and Districts. I think KNT will be happy to see it scrimmage through for a behind, and that's just exactly what they've done. So we see the scoreboard now. Geelong and Districts 7 goals 8. KNT 5 goals 4 on the Bird Cameron Accountant scoreboard. So, well, it's a break, but is it big enough for Geelong and Districts?
Time will tell, Johnny, as we see the ball now at half-back, and an opportunity for the KNT boys. Grant Wurst, opportunity now to drive them up to centre wing. High flyers required. Walsh was high for Geelong, hits the ground, kicked off the carpet. Elzinger, been busy. A little chip, good vision, and finds the big fellow, Allison. Geez, well up the ground at half-forward. He may have been moved to centre half-forward. And the gloved boy, long bomb. Up there, dropped short though. Coming across Van Kempen. Good work, fists it away. Ground level again, Van Kempen. Hands and knees, butters it out there to a teammate, but it's pretty untidy footy. I think you'll find the whistle might be blown shortly.
Play on's the call. Now it's a bounce down, but just looking at Justin Allison, he's got the full set of accessories there, the gloves and the leg warmers. But actually it was a free kick coming out of all that, and it comes towards the boundary line, but still play on the call as a free kick being awarded there to that player I was talking about before in Allison. So Justin Allison from half forward, almost centre wing for his side, the Geelong and Districts, kicks the ball in long, good direct kick at players fly at the back of the pack. KNT force the ball towards the safety of the boundary line, and that's what we'll see. A boundary throw in over there in the half forward line for Geelong and Districts. Geelong and Districts have been well, I'd say in control in this third quarter. Although they're kicking with the breeze, they've just had a bit better attack on the ball. From the throw-in, it's Roberts who can't get a hand on it for KNT. Comes back out towards Dickinson, or is it Pilgrim? Damien Pilgrim it is. He's under a lot of pressure, but he kicks a good left foot kick. But luckily for him, it was out of bounds before he sunk the boot into it. The ball was marked by an opponent, but it was retrieved back for a boundary throw-in. So boundary throw-in on half forward for Geelong and Districts. The ball's shoveled out into the open spaces, and we've got a player there in Elzinger. Elzinger with a long shot for goal, offline, and they've tended to wasted a few opportunities in the last few minutes, Ron.
Yes, they certainly have, Johnny, and well, inaccuracy, what do they say? Bad kicking, bad footy. Certainly conditions not conducive to big goal scoring here today. But you've just got to go about it a little differently, and it could be costly in the final analysis.
Well, the surprising thing is they've done most of the attacking from the right side of the ground with the breeze behind them as the siren sounds, so perhaps some of those goals weren't quite as difficult, or those shots weren't as difficult as we thought. So that scoreboard, we'll pick it up in a moment. It's just being adjusted. Now, there we have it, 7 goals, 10 to Geelong and District. So some of those 10 behinds, I feel, in that last quarter could have easily been goals. So a little bit of a let-off there for the KNT. They're 5 goal 4, 34. So 52 plays 34 at three-quarter time.
Yes, great quarter of football, both sides, and I was very impressed. And I've got to give the boy Gilder mentioned that quarter. I also like Dixon. I thought his game was quite good in that third term. Van Keppert had been busy all day. Flint, you mentioned, did very well for the KNT boys.
And also Will done a few things there at half-back.
Yep, the 13 Guernsey. So all in all, well, they kicked one against it again that time. Geelong and District, they were very impressive. That's probably the quarter of the afternoon to date. There was 4 goals, 6 added for the Geelong District side that term. And I was very impressed again with Scotty Priest at half-back. Very impressed with David Hayes, the vice-captain, who really dominated in the centre of the ground. Troy Alzinger and the dash of Christian Robertson at half-forward really sets up a nice final quarter action here this afternoon, Johnny.
Certainly does. Ron, I'm looking forward to it, and just quick weather check, it's looking much better again.
Yes, certainly, and let's just hope the heavens don't open up any further. We'll be back with the action shortly.